To my live stream. My name is Esti. I am a Singaporean living in North Sweden. Right now, we are in Malaysia, Ipoh. In this video, I'm going to talk about our experience so far around 50 days here in Malaysia, from island to mountains or the highlands. So I'm going to share with you some of our experience, and feel free to ask me anything during this live streaming. If I could answer you right away, I will try to give you an answer. But if there are questions that I'm unable to answer you, I'll make sure I'll get back to you on the comment. So welcome. In this, I think we left Sweden on the 3rd of February. Now it's already March 2018-19 today. So it has been quite a journey. So I'm going to share with you a few story which I never expect, some hidden path or hidden gems that we found out, and why we choose certain places to stay longer. So initially, we started our journey from north of Sweden to Langkawi. And from Langkawi, we took a ferry. I think we stayed in Langkawi for almost 2 weeks, yeah. And then we took a ferry from Satun to Hatyai because I'm a Singaporean. I cannot stay in Malaysia more than 30 days. So I needed to do a border run. So we went to Hatyai for I think about 5 days, 6 days. Yeah, 6 days. LG is sitting just beside me, so he's giving me the number. I think he's more uh, clearer than me because I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'll try my best to stay up. It's 10 o'clock here in Malaysia, so I don't know what time is it in your country that you're watching. Let me know which country you're from, and we start from answering questions from your country. All right, so we were in Hatyai, and after that we took the minivan from Hatyai to Penang, and from Penang we stayed there for about 11 days, right? Around 11 days, and then we took a minibus from Penang to Ipoh. And I think that was the most wisest the decision, and I'm going to explain to you why. All right, so I'm just going to continue with the journey so you know where we are at now from the time where we fly from Sweden. So after Penang, we go to Ipoh, and we stay in Ipoh for about 3 nights. And after the 3 nights, we rent a car, and we thought we could go car camping, but it is not really the case. And I'm going to tell you what happened during the trip. Sometimes I felt like, we shouldn't plan we like what we thought, because sometimes things can change, the weather can change, the situation can change, and also because we are coming in February and in March, the the local people are celebrating the Chinese New Year and the Hari Raya. By the way, Selamat Hari Raya for those of you who are from Malaysia or are celebrating Hari Raya. Today is the first day, 19th of March, first day of Hari Raya. And I want to wish all my Malay viewers a really peaceful, calm Hari Raya. So right now we are from Ipoh. We rented a car, right, to Cameron Highland directly. And oh my God, that is a horrible story, which I'm going to tell you later. Make sure you stay tuned throughout this live streaming. It's going to be really exciting, I can promise you. So what happened in Cameron Highland, we were supposed to spend like 3 days there, but then at the end we only end up staying there 2 nights, and I'll tell you the reason why later. And I told LG, my partner, I said, let's go down to the mountain, from the mountain to, uh, uh, the bottom of the Cameron Highland, and let's explore there. Maybe we'll do some camping there. Thing didn't turn out the way we planned. So we were forced to travel forward to Fraser Hill. And for Fraser Hill, I thought that we could just spend like 2 nights there. But at the end, we spent 3 nights. Actually, I wanted to stay longer if possible, but I'm going to tell you why we have to leave. So from Fraser Hill, we go down, and then we went to this Pangkor. It's another disaster there. And you won't believe it. It was like a trauma experience for me. And after Pangkor, we decided, okay, now we're gonna have really road trip start. We only have 2 nights left, and I thought that we could sleep in a car for 2 nights. No, no. Let me know where you're watching and put them in the comments so that I know where you're from. So let me start off with the story from Langkawi. Langkawi is a really, a lot of YouTuber, they try to portray or give the ideas or image that Langkawi is so blue, so calm, and it's really depending on where you're staying. So after being there like almost 2 weeks, 15 days, if I'm not wrong, and we left Langkawi. If you have watched my previous video, we left during the Ramadan. And the reason why we left it is because when it is Ramadan, all the restaurant and all the Muslim shop, they were closed. So we felt like, since it's nothing to eat in the daytime, and that could be a problem because we don't have a kitchen to cook. So we decided to leave Langkawi, with the Satun, right? So it's a ferry from Langkawi to Hat Yai, which is the south of Thailand. And my girlfriend suggested to me, oh, you should go to Hat Yai because since you're Singaporean, you like to eat, then maybe Hat Yai is a place for you. So we wasn't like thinking so much. We initially I saw on the what other people plan is like they take a ferry across Langkawi, and then from there they proceed to Padang Basah. So it is good to make friends, especially with the local friends. And I noticed in Malaysia, it is so easy to talk to anyone. And I think it's also because they speak English, even though I can speak a little bit of Malay, but my Malay is not perfect. So I felt like it is much easier for us to communicate with anyone or just ask for, direction or ask for help. So our housekeeper suggested, hey, why don't you instead of going to Palace, why don't you go to Satun? So I think, hey, that's actually a very smart idea, because if you go from Langkawi to Palace, you have to take a taxi that is really far, and I think that will cost you around 50 to 60 ringgit just for I think 45 or 50 meters, 50 minutes ride, which is not very expensive, but it's also it's costing money. So at the end, we booked the ticket, and our host who hosts us at Desa Motel, he helped us to do the booking. He keep calling the people who work at the JT and help us to book 2 tickets. We've been trying to book ticket online, I think for 4 days, yeah, LG, or more than that, 5 days, I think. And we were unsuccessful. And because certain booking company, like if you want to book a ferry or you want to book the bus, if you are using a European or using a foreigner credit card, the online booking company will reject it. So my suggestion is talk to the hotel or talk to the local people to find out. But in this case, since we already know that we have to go to Satun because Satun already is Thailand. So we don't have to take another steps, right? Spend another 1 hour more and then spend another 60, 70 ringgit more. And the kind of stress, because I'm not so sure when I reach Palace, who am I going to call, right? Where am I going to ask, or where is the booking company? So it can be a little bit of problem, especially my Malay is very limited. So everything went so smoothly. We went on the boat, on the ferry. I think it was like 35 Malaysian ringgit only for two of us, right? Or just for one of us. I can't remember, but it was really, really cheap. Um, so you can also go to the JT there early in the morning, like 9 o'clock, because they open at 9:30. So if you go there earlier, like 9:15, you just stand on the queue. You can see where the ferry will take you. Like certain company, they only go to certain area in Thailand or in Malaysia. So in our case, we just have to look up for the sign Satun, and then we have to stand there and wait for the ticketing office to open. So we got our ticket. I was like feeling so relieved because we really try our best to keep booking and the booking keep rejecting. So no choice. So when we were in Hatyai, we have to take this small tuk-tuk. I have a little bit scared, when I took tuk-tuk, because the last time I took tuk-tuk in Phuket, it was terrible. You have to speak like a gangster with the tuk-tuk driver sometimes, because they're trying to scam us, But I didn't feel that because I already know. That's why it's very good that you do research first. I always do with Chat GPT, and with Chat GPT they are at least 70-80% accurate. But at least you can get your answer like within second. So any question that you need to ask, I suggest you check out the Chat GPT, and then also do your own research just to confirm on Google's. So when we were there, everything went so smoothly. We checked in the hotel, but because the hotel name is quite similar, we end up in the wrong hotel. But luckily, the hotel is quite walking distance to the other hotel, so it was okay. Food in Langkawi, I would say, is so, right? Because Langkawi is a touristy place. So people who've been there long enough, maybe their whole life, they know that people need the food. And I wouldn't say that they are not so ambitious in, like, creating a better experience for visitors. But I felt like Malaysian people, they are very self-content. They are happy with, the tempo, the way they work, and as long as there's no complaint, they think that they are okay, to survive. For me, I have no problem with that, because for me, I think the most important thing when you come to travel is the experience, not the experience of how the hotel look like, or how the food tastes like, or how attractive the place is. I think it is how you are being treated and how are you being received. And I always believe that you are your own projection. You get the treatment in how you treat other people, right? So for us, we are quite social people. So we don't have any problem with anyone. And we find that Malaysian people are extremely helpful and then extremely social. which is really really good, especially if you are somebody who are from foreign country. And I think it doesn't matter if you are white or you are from Singapore or you are from Indonesia. They they don't look at your skin color. They will help you all the way through. And sometimes overextend. So we were really really satisfied, right? LG, are you satisfied with the people like
Yes.
treating us?
Yes.
So let me just decline this one. So I think it is very important, like how people treat you, how you treat people. And it's the same. It's always come back the same. Whatever goes around comes around. So we never have problem even in Hatyai. Hatyai people are very simple too. They are, in fact, their sort of mentality is quite similar to how do I call that, to Malaysian people. They are also very helpful. They are they are quite, I wouldn't say that their English is better. Some of them, they still struggle, but you can tell that they are trying their best to help. So we were very happy. And Hapcha is a place for food paradise. The reason why I say that is because there are lots of street food there, and you can eat your heart out. And I think I have accumulated many footage on that, and I don't really have time to sort it out yet. So I'm planning to sort all these things out, you know, by giving you like different videos, like, okay, this place, Hapchai, what do you expect? What kind of experience do you expect from there? And what kind of food, the cost, where to stay, where is the best place to stay, the area, are they safe? So we were very lucky. When we were in Hap Chai, it was during the Chinese New Year. So Hap Chai people, they also celebrate Chinese New Year. And at the same time, it was also the beginning of Ramadan. So because Hap Chai has a lot of Chinese people, or the Thai Chinese, so we were not so much affected with the food. There's no problem for us to find food at all there. And I think that's the reason why we left there, because we were so afraid that we might not be able to find food. But Hapchai is a really nice place to visit. Unfortunately, we only have a few days there. So we were just chilling out and just staying low. We went to market, and there was so many different kind of event around just the small area. So I think if you want to go to Hapchai or Malaysia, I think February and March is not a stupid idea, because in the next following year, 2027, 2028, and 2029, the Chinese New Year and the Hari Raya are going to be crushed with each other, which means to say you will enjoy both culture in a very festive way. So I find that, even though I'm not in Singapore or I'm not in Malaysia, but we feel the vibration of this festive mood is extremely high there. I don't think so we can get that high compared to in Singapore. I've never been to China, but I think in Singapore we are not allowed to have firecracker. So with a firecracker, it can be more festive. But there's a little bit problem with firecracker with me, because I find that they have no time limit. They can play firecracker, pang, 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 in the middle of the night. So if you are a light sleeper, you may find this a little bit annoying. So like one morning when we were sleeping, and then I thought I heard gunshot or what, but it's actually the firecracker. It was around 6 o'clock in the morning, and they start to play this firecracker. I was quite sad. I was quite scared. I said our experience in Hapchai was really nice. And after Hapchai, we have to come back to Malaysia, because I have to make sure that I don't overstay. Because if you overstay, it can be a problem. So we have to come back to Malaysia. We took a mini bus, which is not a mini bus, which is a minivan. So I think sometimes you need to plan also. Like, okay, you are in Hatyai during the Chinese New Year. And usually, Hatyai, because they are Thai, they don't celebrate Chinese New Year like in China or in Malaysia or in Singapore. Because they are Thai people, they only celebrate maximum 2 days, and after that, on the third day, they are reopened again. So for me, I know, okay, this is my chance to get out of the country when people are still celebrating Chinese New Year on the third day. So my plan was to leave Hap Chai when, everybody is still celebrating. Because when you leave with a van, first of all, it is cheaper, and secondly, you have less people at the custom, because I heard that the custom can be very, very crowded and the queue can be really long, especially during the festive season. So when we took the van, we were just four of us in the van. Usually it's about 12 people because the van can take about 12 passenger. And we were very lucky. We don't have to pay extra on the bag, because if you have like more than 2, 3 bags, maybe the van driver will have to charge you. But because we are four people, they didn't say anything. So, and it was very fast at the custom too. And then after that, when we came back to Penang, right? We went to Penang. It was just 4 hours, and it felt like 2 hours because the van driver was driving quite fast. So, but I didn't felt like, because under this speed, you can be a bit worried, right? Oh, Maggie, my God, if there's an accident, how much insurance are you covered? So make sure, right, you get your insurance before you leave your country. And also, I felt like, okay, 2 hours, that's good. But still a little bit scared, right, because we are not used to sitting in a very high speed van. So luckily we reached Penang earlier than we expected to. So they drove us all the way to our hotel, which is really, really good. Um, and when we reached Penang, we didn't realize that the place that we booked the hotel location is so good, because it is not only close to the central, near the bus station that goes locally, and also certain parts of the international is not that far from the place that we stay. But the hotel that we stay is Kimberly Hotel, which is, in terms of location, is top notch. But the hotel room is extremely small. It's like, oh, when they opened the door, I was like, oh my God. They're used to staying in big room, but then suddenly we felt like we were staying in a tiny space. So I have to speed up a bit because I don't want to waste your time. But I want to come to the point where, I'm going to share with you this crazy experience. All right, make sure you stay tuned until the end. So at Penang, everything was so wonderful. The people are still celebrating Chinese New Year. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the temple because the temple closed. Kekoksi temple closed like on the 17th, 16th. So we didn't get to see the nightlife. But we were quite satisfied because this experience supposed to be a slow travel experience. So we try to like take it easy. We are not interested in all those attraction. I think the only attraction that we've been to is the Penang Hill. I did a video on that, so if you haven't seen that, please go and check it out. Whether Penang Hill is worth visiting or not, right? You're curious. But I think Penang itself, it's a very vibrant, a lot of tourists. The traffic is crazy. We wouldn't want to drive in Penang because, first of all, the road is much more narrower, and there are so many small lanes, and a lot of parts in Penang they have construction site. So I wouldn't advise you to rent a car or drive a scooter because it can be a bit dangerous. But because we're staying quite central, so a lot of attraction like to the JT was like walking distance only, and to all the street food was like so good, and it was so near the morning market. So we really enjoy, going to the morning market every day and just sit there sipping coffee, eating toast, eating porridge, and just listen to people speaking Cantonese. I felt a little bit emotion because the language and the people, you can be sitting just going into a coffee shop, and people will invite you, hey, you want to sit here, come sit, join us. And then when you sit down, people are very social. They will ask you, hey, where are you from? And conversation just start like that, and they can speak English. And sometimes you tend to meet up with people who are from Singapore, because Singaporean people, they love to eat food, right? And Penang is very well known for food. So I would say I felt very much like in Singapore when I was in Penang. But again, I felt like it was very, very hot. When we went out, we tried not to go out in the middle of the day. So what we do is after breakfast, 11 o'clock, we quickly go back to the hotel and try to stay put until around 3, 4 o'clock when the sun is not that hot. And then we go out. Sometimes we try also to eat a lot during breakfast so that we could skip lunch. So Penang everything was so smooth, so nice, so cozy. But the nightmare started after we left Penang and we were about to go to Ipoh. So again, we took a bus, a minivan from Penang to go to Ipoh. But initially, we wanted to rent a car from Penang to online on the land, and then try to drive for 2-3 weeks initially. And I'm so glad that we didn't do that, because when you rent a car, from example in Penang Island, and then you want to return that car in Johor Bahru, for example, the south of Malaysia, because Malaysia is quite a long country, right? So we are supposed to meet our friend on the 21st of March, and then they will bring us across Singapore. So if you rent a car from Penang, for example, and return the car in another location, you must be prepared to pay around 800 to maybe 1,000 Malaysian ringgit, just for that service, because they have to send somebody down to collect the car and drive back. So it's not that cheap. And I'm quite glad that we didn't do that. So we use Ipoh as a base, and we rent the car there for 1 week. And the rental company was extremely helpful. The rate was very good, low deposit, and the car was like 3 years old, quite new. Everything was automatic, and that we know that we could easily drive this thing uphill, up to Cameron Highland. When we took the car from Ipoh, we only stayed for 3 days. Everything was very smooth. We get to eat a lot of delicious food, and from there, thank you for the thumbs up. Somebody gave me a thumbs up. And from there, we took the car from Ipoh, and then we drove to Cameron Highland on a Wednesday afternoon. And let me tell you, if you are not used to driving uphill like that, right, try not to drive a car, because going uphill and not having that experience can be quite traumatized. In certain parts of Cameron Highland can be very steep, and the street can be really narrow. So for us being in Sweden, we are used to driving roads that are very wide, and we are used to driving on the right hand side instead of the left hand side in Malaysia. So we need to learn, everything from fresh, how to stay put on the left side. The, the road on Penang to Cameron Highland is not that scary. The scariest part is in Fraser Hill. And I'm going to share with you this really scary experience, all right, when I come to Fraser Hill. In Cameron Highland, because it's on a highland, it's quite cold. It's about 16 to 17 degrees Celsius in the night, and in the daytime it's like 20, 22. Maybe the hottest is like 28 degrees Celsius, which is really, really comfortable. I went to Penang, I went to Cameron Highland 40 years ago, and God, 40 years ago and now, it's a lot of different. I was shocked when I went up there because I remember when I was 14 and I was just maybe 18, 19 years old. I don't see a lot of agriculture there. But now, when we reach up to the top, we open up the car door, we could smell fertilizer every direction. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but it is not a pleasant smell, I would say. The fertilizer sometimes it can be really, really strong. And I don't know if you haven't been there before, so it's maybe not that easy for you to understand. But just imagine a mountain, you have a really nice highlands, and most of the highlands are agriculture. And this scary experience starts when we took up a vegetable farm called Sky Vegetable Farm. I'm going to put the link if you are interested. I was just thinking, okay, we are going there just to look at some vegetables, right? But I never expect that this was a big turning point of my life when I took up this tour. I thought that we are going on a plantation on a flat land, and that's it. Just to learn about vegetables, how they plant. So when we arrived, we couldn't find a place. It was very difficult. There was no sign. There was only like a Google map pin that said, okay, if you want to go to this plantation, you have to wait here. So me and LG, we couldn't find any sign. So we decided, okay, maybe we just leave lah. So before we leave, there's this guy knocking at at our window and say, hey, you want to go to the Sky Plantation? I said, yeah. All right, I'll come and pick you up. Just wait for me 5 minutes. So 5 minutes later, his father came and picked us up. And he came with a pickup without with a roof. So we have to climb the ladder up onto his pickup. And I was thinking maybe we are going on another plantation on the flat land. The minute he turned the pickup, and we saw it was a hill. The hill is like 60, 70 degrees. Or maybe 60, yeah? No? How many degrees? It's very steep,
No.
It's not. LG didn't think. But for me, I think it is really, really steep. It's like this, It's like this steep. I look at the street and it was so narrow. And I said, I don't think so we're gonna make it. There's two young couple from Malaysia, took the same pickup as us. And me and LG, we were so naive, we don't know anything. We just hop onto the pickup and then let the driver drive us up. I was thinking, what am I doing? That pickup is like, it's going upward, and I was thinking, and the road is like so narrow. It's like maybe the most 3.5 meter wide, and it's going up this way. I thought I'm gonna die, for sure. And the two Malaysian youngsters, they were like, "Oh, I don't want to see how how we are going up." Anyway, I did film how it went down because when up, I didn't expect that, so I didn't have the camera ready. But I should have the camera ready, so you can tell me how scary it is. All right. So I thought, okay, maybe the scariest part is over already. It's far from over, okay? When we reach up the top, the owner said, "You have toilet, you go to the toilet first." I said, "Okay, why do we need to go to the toilet?" He said, "Yeah, yeah, just go." Because, you know, we don't know what to expect. Maybe he would think that we scare the shit out. So what? I don't know. So he told me, "LG need to go to the toilet." So the owner come and tell me, "You better go to the toilet." I don't know, I was so naive. So I went to the toilet and then I came out and then this guy, by the way, can you hear? This is the firework that is playing now. This is Hari Raya. So there's this guy who come up. He's an Indian guy. He's quite good in English, but he speak very softly. So he said, "Okay, welcome. Let's join me in this tour." So we went up. First, we went up on the very small ladder to go up to the first level. And then I thought that because it is so far, the tent is like quite far, about maybe about 100 meters away. So I thought we were just like walking around there. That's it. And then they have this metal panel. It is just about 20 centimeter wide. And we have to walk on this panel, and underneath it is just nothing. It's just like one story high. And for me, I being somebody who is scared of height, and I said, "Oh, okay." And there's nothing to hold on to. So I told myself, okay, this is scary, this is getting scary. But the Indian guy, he was very charismatic. He was speaking very softly and very gently, so I felt really calm, being naive. And then he said, "Okay, let's go up another floor." So I said, "Going up? Why do you go up? This is enough." No, 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 we're going up to see another plantation. So they have like a layer of lettuce, and then the second layer is like a different kind of vegetables, and then another layer, another different kind of vegetables. As we were climbing up to the third one, my leg start to shake like a jelly. I was so scared. And I told myself, what am I getting into now? I was like, you have to turn to go down, otherwise you die, because if you fall down, because it's like very small, the panel, and you have to walk on these stairs that is like 20 centimeter. It's crazy. And check out this video, okay, which I am really trying to edit yesterday. So I want to show you how scary this thing is, so make sure you stay tuned, okay? I tell you, when we come up to the 6th floor, and I don't even dare to look down. I only look up at him, because I know that if I look down, I'm going to fall. And there's no handle. The handle is like a wire bar like that, like the size of my thumb. Can you imagine that? And the tour was very calm, but my leg was shaking. Can you imagine? It was cooling. It was not very hot, a little bit chilling, but I was shaking. My whole body was like shaking, and I was telling myself, "Oh my God, what did I do now?" And I insist I'm not going up. I say, I want to go down. I don't want to stay up here, because this is not for everyone. But I think that this organization should have warned us. Are you afraid of height? If you're afraid of height, you cannot go up. And in fact, I did told him at the second stage already. I said, I'm very scared, already. I'm scared of height. But he just keep going. So I think if you are afraid of height, don't go for this kind of tour, okay? Because it can be really scary. And then after the sixth floor, I said we're not going up. So we go on the level. But still, the panel become, instead of metal, become like wood panel. I tell you, I really give myself a pat on my shoulder. I said, never in my life I would ever do this again. Never. That was a scary one. So we finished the tour. We want to eat there, but not allowed to do that because you have to book the steamboat. If you didn't book, you cannot eat there. So when we go down, I was smart this time. I took out my camera and then I started to film from the top down. It was like not very high. It was like maybe 150 meters down. But then, I could see LG when the van was going down. I filmed him. So you can tell me, all right, how much angle is that? Camera Island is not as fun, not as relaxing. The first night we slept on the mountain in front of a temple. That was a really good experience. I never forget that. It was cooling. We went to the night market. We bought some food, and then we enjoy ourselves during that night. And I slept like a baby. I do not know whether LG slept well, but I slept really well. So second night we slept in another location, which is also not that bad because there's actually quite a lot of parking place where you could car camping. But make sure you find somewhere that is close to a toilet. The first location was in a temple. We didn't have a toilet, but luckily none of us need to do number two. So the second night was lucky because we found a very good location near the petrol station. So there was no problem for us if we need to do number one or number two. After Cameron Highland, we decided, okay, this is not a place for us. And we have been to a few attractions. I think most of the attraction there, you have to pay a fee to go in, yeah. But if you feel like all this attraction doesn't interest you, maybe it's time for you to go down or maybe change to another place. So when we were leaving, there were a couple that we met, and they said, oh, we've been to Fraser Hill. And I never have come across Fraser Hill. I've never been there. I do not know how it's like. So I said, hey, maybe Fraser Hill could be one idea. So we took the car. We came down to not a waterfall, like a river, where you could swim in a cool water because below the mountain is very hot. So when we reached there, it was quite nice. There was this river. You paid like, I think, 20 ringgit with a car, and then you could be there the whole day. But we realized that we were the first two people, or maybe the two car was there, and was quite nice. It's not many people, but it would be nice to see some people and maybe have some conversation. So we were all by ourselves, and the whole river belongs to us. We felt like that. And LG almost fell down because the rock was very slippery. So that was a scary moment. And after that, I felt like after the shower, I was beaten in this shower, and the shower was like cold water. And I look at my leg, oh my God, there was 10 mosquitoes attacking me at the same time. So I told myself, okay, I'm not going to say, I cannot stay there because it's really, really hot. So I thought, LG, shall we go to Fraser Hill? Fraser Hill is about 3 hours from this place that is at the Cameron Highland Hill bottom. So we say, okay, let's go. before the night set in, all right, because we don't want to drive when it is dark. It's really not that safe, or because LG, he couldn't see quite clearly at night. His vision is not so good, so we have to hurry, right? So we went up to Fraser Hill, and he checked the tank. Half tank should be enough, because it doesn't feel like it's very high up. The problem is, because with the car it's like that, right? The tank cannot read the reading of the petrol, right? It's going up way. So it show us the wrong meter, or the wrong amount of petroleum that was left. Halfway through, we saw the slope, and I was like checking how much distance we have more. And it was about maybe half an hour to go up like very steep road. And that steep is really steep, because I've never been to Fraser Hill. I didn't know that it is that steep. So when we got up there, LG was in a panic mode, and he said, oh my God, we only have like 7 kilometers of petrol to walk. And I look at the Google map, I say, oh my God, there is no petrol station here, and we are stuck here. So I told him immediately, I said, we need to go to the police station and ask them if we can get help. So we went to the police station immediately, and luckily we could buy petrol from them. It's a bit expensive, but we have no choice. So we have to take whatever it is and fill it up, and then continue with our journey. When we found the campsite, which we have to pay like 30 ringgit to stay there for one night, I didn't like that place because it's very small, the campsite. It's on a hilltop, and there's lots of car already there. And there's only one toilet, and the toilet condition was really bad. So I told myself, oh my God, we have no food. We don't have a stove. We cannot cook. But luckily we have some leftover fruits and some biscuit, so we could eat that and just get over with the hunger. So when we were about to eat, it's rained like cats and dogs. I never seen rain like this much. And we were stuck in the car, and we tried to, take calm, because it was so scary. If you don't have a petrol, and you know that you cannot go anywhere without the petrol, it's a really, really trauma experience. Fraser Hill is a place where there is not so much tourists compared to Cameron Highland. A lot of local people from Malaysia or KL, they like to go there and spend their like day trip there or the weekend trip there, because down there is very cooling. It's a very nice place to hang out and just take life slowly. I really, really enjoy Fraser Hill because I find that I'm more relaxed, I'm more calm. Even though we don't have the petrol, I felt like, oh my God, it was very nice and really calm. And we felt like, okay, we can breathe out. Initially, we were supposed to spend 2 nights, and at the end, we spent 3 nights there. And we were car camping, and car camping on a highland is so nice because all you need is those mosquito net that cover your car window, so you could wind down your window with this air look coming in, and with this fresh crisp air coming into the car, it makes you sleep like a baby. So it was really, really nice, and we really enjoyed. I slept so well, and I think I really regret not staying there 2 more nights, instead of spending the other 2 nights down from Fraser Hill. And another trauma experience when we get down. When we got down, I was thinking, because LG, he loved beach. So I look at the map and I say, oh dear, there is a beach in Pangkor area. So I thought, okay, let's go to Pangkor. Maybe we'll have some cozy, calm beach day. Spend one day there. So we drove to this beach. It's about 4 hours drive, and we were shocked because on the Google map, the place looked like a pure paradise. The water is like crystal clear, turquoise color, green in color, really beautiful. But when we drive to the esplanade, it's like a beach walk, and there's supposed to be a lot of stores, those small stores that sells food and cafe and maybe some souvenir. One shop open that sell only crackers, snacks, and the place is looking so run down, like nobody has been operating there for at least the past 10 years. So really disappointed. So we just say, okay, since we're already here, we must well just spend 1 hour, 2 hour by the beach. So we found a chair, we sat there, and we see some people fishing. And I realized, okay, actually cannot drive in the night, so we better find a camping spot. So we went to the town, and then we were trying to scout for this still camping site. We found one which was very near the toilet and very near the water, or the esplanade. We thought that we could spend the night there. Oh my God, we couldn't. It's a scary experience, all right? After dinner, we sat in the beach. There's a cafe. We had some dessert, and we tried to go back to the toilet and maybe have a shower because I cannot sleep if my body is like sticky and sweaty, right? So I decided to go to the toilet and have a shower, quick shower. So we found this toilet. There's two Indian men sitting outside the toilet, and they were guarding the toilet, and you're supposed to pay them like 2 or 3 ringgit for a shower. So I went in there, and I was shocked. I was shocked, really. How could they even collect money from people who wants to use the service, and that place is like a disaster? And why I say it's a disaster, you come in there, just imagine this, you come in there, the minute you come in there, the whole place are flooded. All right, the minute you put feet inside the toilet, there's 4 sinks there, and 2 of the sink is already exploded. The pipe is like, all the water is like shooting up, and the whole place was flooded. They didn't do anything about that. And then I said, I paid for shower, I expect to have a shower. So there's only one shower room, but there's no shower head. There is not even a pipe for me to turn on the water for me to shower. I said, okay, how am I going to shower? Don't tell me I have to go to the sink there and just stand there and wait for the water to splash on me, right? I tell you, this is like crazy. Luckily, I went around it and I saw a pail with a scoop. You know, the Malaysian, they like to use a scoop where they wash their private part. Oh, okay. I took the pail, I filled the pail with water from the toilet, and then I have no choice because I need that shower. So I quickly just fresh water. I don't even shampoo. I didn't even use the shower cream, and I just want to get the hell out of that place. And I told myself, oh my God, I just have to close my eyes and I'll just do whatever I need to do and just get out. I did that within like 3 minutes, and then I'm out. I rush out. My body start to sweat because I was so nervous, oh my God. That was the worst experience. And I cannot understand why they can collect money. These two Indian guys were just sitting there listening to their radio singing, like as though this is just like normal for them. They don't have to care. They don't care about like fixing the pipe, or maybe have to put a shower head. If you collect money for shower, you have to at least do that, right? No, they were sitting outside listening to their music and collecting money. And the people who go in there, they have to deal with whatever that is inside there, which is really traumatizing. And the most traumatizing is like, before I take my shower, I was pushing those door and see if this is a shower or is this a toilet, right? So I found out there's two toilet bowl full of shit. Oh, I'm telling you, it's full of shit, because it cannot be flushed. So can you imagine the smell, the water, and oh my God, I cannot imagine. And when I was sleeping that night, I have nightmare about the shit. I cannot remember. I cannot. Was this? That was kind of one hell of an experience, right? I don't know where to start. I can't pick myself up. And then I can't even sleep in the car. And I told LG, let's go to the hotel. So we quickly check in a hotel that is nearby for the night. And then there's another drama there, all right? Okay, hotel was very cheap. We cannot expect high expectation, right? So we went into this door. It was like the 3 bedroom. They said, oh, you have to pay like 3 bed. Okay, okay, I pay. And then we realized we can actually book instantly with Agoda at a much cheaper price. But then Agoda has to add like certain percentage. Okay, we get into the room. First of all, the the aircon doesn't feel like there's any aircon. All right, but that's okay. The 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 tap, all right, the tap is not working. The shower is not working. So at the end, I have to use the bum gun pipe to shower. There's no toilet paper. In Malaysia, you don't use toilet paper, right? So we are not used to that. So we went down to the cashier. There's a lady there. There's a little girl there guarding the hotel. I think she's about 8, 9 years old. So I asked her, I said, do you have toilet paper? Then she said, no need, no need. There's this bum gun using water to spray on the asshole. I never tried that before. So luckily, we have toilet paper in the car. So we use that toilet paper. And I cannot imagine how they do that. How? All right, if you are from Malaysia, tell me how you do that. What are the steps? Are there certain steps like where to aim, and how to do that? I can't. So there was another experience, right, in that hotel. There was no toilet paper. The shower, there's no shower, no water. Terrible. And there's no lift. We have to go walk up on the second floor. Lucky it's only on the second floor. So next morning, I said, let's get the hell out of this place. And, we have to head down to Ipoh because our base is at Ipoh. We are supposed to return the car and it's only 6 days. So I told LG, let's go to Ipoh and then let's take it easy there and see if we could book the same hotel, which is this hotel, another night before, because we actually booked on the 7th day when we are supposed to return the car, but we came back one day earlier. So for me, conclusion, I felt like in Malaysia, if you want to sleep on the car, if you are not on the Highland, it's like, unless you have those portable aircon, all right, you can buy those that you can fix in the car, then maybe it's possible. But just using the fan, I've bought a fan which is quite fancy. It cost me about 200 Malaysian ringgit. It can work for 20 hours. And I was very naive to think that, okay, maybe I could use a fan, then I could sleep in the car. But no, all right, it's no way you could sleep in the car. So we are back in Ipoh. And now we are staying here for the second night now. And we will have to stay another 2 more nights before, is it one more night tomorrow, right? And then Saturday we are going to Malaysia, JB. and to meet up with my friend Kelly and her brothers and the brother's wife, and we are going by car over to Singapore. I do not know what you think about this experience, the experience that we have. Would you want to come to Malaysia? But I think, like I said, Malaysia is a really great place. It's not like if I were to compare that with Da Nang, I would definitely 100% choose to be in Malaysia than in Da Nang. Da Nang is for people who love just beaches, all right? And they enjoy the cows for the traffic and the scooter there. For us to be there, like almost 80 days was like crazy. I think we never thought about that, because if you don't have something to compare, like now that we stay in Malaysia for most 50 days and we have something to compare, so I would definitely recommend you, if you can speak English, or if you, even better, if you can speak Malay or Chinese or more Cantonese, it is definitely a choice. I would definitely come back to Malaysia, not because it's cheap, it is food paradise, it is a lot of things that you could experience here in different region, from the island to the highland on the hilltop. It's offer you a variety of experience. So for us, being a slow traveler, I try to document all our experience through videos and try to tell you guys the stories. So tonight I'm just telling you, like, overall what actually happened during this trip, and what things that really shock us and surprise us. And I hope this will give you more or less an idea what to expect when you come visit Malaysia. I'm not trying to promote, but or recommend, because it's really depending on individual. But I think if you are somebody who are shy, or somebody who are introvert and want to experience like different culture, Malaysia is a very good place, because they are not like Dana. Dana is only one culture, yeah. But in Malaysia, you have the Chinese, you have the Malay, you have Indian, and even sometimes Eurasian also, just like in Singapore, but cheaper, and a variety of places, a type of, from mountains to island to countryside to river waterfall. Malaysians offer you a wider varieties of experience compared to Thailand, compared to Da Nang or Vietnam. Vietnam also, if you dare, but the problem is the communication. Vietnamese, they are not so good in English. But in Malaysia, anywhere you go, people have no problem. Sometimes some older lady, uncle, auntie, they can speak English too. Most of them, they can. So I would definitely come back here again if I'm still alive. Now the world is so crazy. We are having problem with the flight, because we are taking Qatar, and we are supposed to transit in Doha on the 1st of April. And I don't know how our flight is going to be, because our transit is in Doha. So let's pray, all right, and see if we could find a solution, or if Qatar could find a solution to help us go back to Sweden. Do you have any questions for me? If not, I'm going to end this live streaming, and I really, really hope that this is good information for you. If you really enjoy this video, kindly give a thumbs up, and even subscribe if you haven't. I would really love to get to know you too, and I hope to see you. If there's no other question, I think I better go. Hello. Hello. Okay, I think I've spoken 1 hour already. Eddie is getting tired. So am I. Oh, right. Thank you for joining me in this live streaming. I'll see you. Make sure you check out my video. My next video is going to be in 1 or 2 weeks. I'll see if I can make a live streaming next week when we are in Singapore before we leave for Sweden. But when I come back to Sweden, I'm going to sort out all my videos uh, into, certain categories, and I'm going to give you guys a very graphic experience on our slow travel. Actually, this time is not really slow travel because there's so much thing to experience. We didn't really spend like a week or maybe longer time, so I wouldn't consider this as a slow travel. But during this journey, I will share with you how we take it easy on each place, even though it was so stressful, even though it was like so full of surprise. We still try to stay calm. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you. Bye bye. Wee.